family. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Schubert. Welcome. How are you all doing today? I hope all is well. Thank you, son. All right. No, thank you. You can exit out. Just trying to get the little one out now.
Good morning, guys.
All right. He says good morning. Come scooty in, Daddy. Say hello to the people.
Hello to the people.
Oh, say hi. Deborah and Shubarb is here. Welcome. How's it going, ladies? How's everything? She said, "Hey, family, I'm here today. Hey there, Deborah Green. And hello, family. Hey, y'all. Oh my gosh, it's one of those mornings. I have a migraine, guys. So I'm hoping through the live that I have my oils too. So you might see me like going like this. I'm just trying to help my migraine. I'm like, really, on all the days I decide to have a migraine. So I'm dealing with that, guys. But we're gonna get through this interview, and like I said, hopefully all will be well. Looks like our guests, yes, they are here. Good
Hello.
morning.
How you doing?
Hello, how are
Good,
you guys
good
doing?
morning to
Good,
you.
very good.
Let me see. Let me turn the volume
Yeah.
up a little bit over
Yeah, we
here.
got a little low volume on this end.
Wait a minute, I keep turning it down. Hold on, bear with me. I'm trying to turn
Technical
it.
difficulties.
Okay, there we are.
Okay.
There we are. We're doing okay. I'm just dealing with the migraine, but
Mhm.
Oh,
I'm hoping that it just goes away. Like all, I'm just
Yes.
asking the Most High, let it go away. So, but
well,
how
let
are
me
you?
ask you a question.
Huh?
We're in our living room, and so it's in the main part of the house, and there'll be some commotion because we living over
Okay.
here
Okay.
and everything, right? So I wonder if we can just test plugging in the noise reduction headphones, and we'll put the mic there, but we won't be able to hear you.
All right.
We won't be able to hear
I don't hear
you.
any noise, honestly. Do you hear
Okay,
me?
good.
Hear anything?
I
You
don't hear anything. Yeah.
carry
Okay, good.
I love the background too. Very nice. The
Well,
wall.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
This is the wall in the living room.
Okay,
Wow.
very nice. Very. You know, one thing
Yes.
about Rwanda, their architect work is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it
Beautiful.
is.
Good.
Yes, it
It's
is.
amazing. So we have
Yes.
Deborah here. She's saying hello, and
Hello,
Hi. Hello,
bruh.
Deborah.
Shubarb is saying hello as well
See if I
to
can.
everybody. All right, honey, you ready to hop in?
Ready.
We don't want
We
to keep you
ready.
all day today.
It was fun. We could have gone all night because there really is so much to share. The
Yeah,
only last week was that our daughter was visiting a friend and it was getting late and we needed to get her home.
right,
But
right.
everybody's
Okay.
home tonight, so
All right, tell the children we say hello as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Queen and Rodney say hello.
All right.
I
Miss
can't.
Miss Giselle to you, right?
I can't wait till you meet that oldest one. Oh my gosh,
Got,
she
I
she
saw
looks
one
just
of the
like her
videos.
dad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you have to hear her
Uh-huh.
speak. You got to hear her
Oh,
speak.
okay.
Yes. Okay, so you want to ask this question, huh?
Okay. Have you both seen any differences in your children since leaving the States?
Have we seen any differences in the children since leaving the States? I'll let my wife answer that
How
question.
can I do it from here, babe?
Do what?
Slide. Stop.
Are you
Sorry.
are you trying to put on Instagram?
No, on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
Can we set it up? Could we
Huh.
do it? So while he's working on that, have I seen differences in them? I can't say that I have seen any changes in my children. I have seen um, some aspects of their characters and personality that were seeds. I've seen those blossom,
Oh, nice.
or and those are the things that are good. And I've seen some of the issues that were in there come out and be exacerbated a little bit because of the stress of such a
Okay,
big change. I've
right.
seen those things kind of become more prominent or
Mhm.
prevalent. They may come
Right.
up a little frequently. But as far as their personalities being any different, I can't say that I've seen them be any different. Oh, but you know what? That's our thumbnail.
Oh, I love
um,
it.
It's a beautiful
Yes,
picture.
I love it.
I did tell my husband that whereas we thought they were not as grateful or appreciative or we kind of he would tell them all the time how privileged they were and that y'all are just spoiled because when we tell you no, you dragging around, you pouting, no. So that tells me that you're not really fully appreciating what you do have, because whenever we tell you can't have something, you act like we were supposed to give it to you.
Right.
But then when we got here and we experienced the roach infested car and the broke down cars with no rear view mirror, no electric windows, no and they did not complain. When I tell you they made jokes, but they weren't like, I can't do this. Why'd you bring me here? This car is wag, all of the worst. So that was new to me. I learned that they could tolerate and they forced themselves. I think they caused themselves not to complain as much as I thought they would, moving around from Airbnb to Airbnb, lugging all of our big luggage and what have you. They said that they like being transient and going to new places or what have you. So that I did learn about them.
Awesome.
Of this transition. Have you seen
What about you, hubby?
No, I don't. It's
Hubby? What about you?
Oh, me. Okay. I don't think that I've seen that we've seen any changes. Sorry, you gotta do it again. I don't think that we've seen any changes. I haven't really seen any changes, to be honest. I can't say that I've gotta redo it. Seen any changes in them. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but like my wife said, the fact that they did not complain about the car, so we
Not
we
much.
are
They complained
right.
a little bit.
Yeah, so we are appreciative of that. Yes. So not really any differences, any change as of yet. Yeah.
Pretty much embraced the whole moving over there.
No.
Not very much embraced, my
we
friend.
didn't-
Don't go that far.
Don't go that far.
Not very much complained, but not very much embraced.
Oh, okay. Yeah, with time, I think with time, once they start picking up with new friends and things that they like to go and things they like to do, it'll work out.
Yes.
Now, what about have you both noticed any differences between each other?
You first this time.
It's to be honest, it's been, I don't know if there's been a difference, but I think that it's been harder for both of us, because a lot of the challenges that we've had to deal with, being here, and just everything that we've had to go through, as we have transitioned and just some of the things that we've had to deal with, with the Airbnbs and the cars and the, just some of the things we've had to deal with, traffic wise and going to some of the different, getting our not passport, but our visas and just a lot of the, it's been a lot. I don't know if we mentioned it before, but we talked about how we needed to do a segment called "It's Always Something," because literally
it's always
something. Now it's gotten better. I mean, it's to be honest, it's probably gotten a lot better.
Because at first it's always something every single day.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like if it's not, the power going out, you can't work, the water not working, the pressure was low. And you know, just the stuff with the passport and not passport, the visa stuff. I mean, it was lit. I mean, it was something every day. It was something
Gotcha.
every yeah.
So
But
so it's
go ahead.
nothing every day now, though. Now that you're kind of getting used to living there.
Right. I mean, it's nothing it's not something every day.
Okay.
Yeah. There's still challenges, you know, but it's not something that's happening every day. Which is fortunate. We did have something this past because we spoke to you what was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so ever since
That was last week.
No,
Was
it
it
wasn't
last? Oh wait, was it last?
Literally
Was it
last Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah, it sure was.
We all need to wake up.
Yes. Wow.
We slept a couple times since then,
I
but yes,
know.
it was last Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, it was okay. Yeah. And so I don't even think we shared the situation with the toilet, did we?
We did not.
No.
But wait, I didn't get to
Okay.
answer the question. Have I seen anything different in my
Right,
spouse?
right. You haven't.
No, it's not. And I have. I've seen an increase in his compassion toward me.
Okay.
My husband is not lovey-dovey, super affectionate, touchy-feely.
That sounds
And
familiar.
and those are all, you know, so sometimes I'm like, how do I do it? How do I know you? He shows because he protects me and the family fiercely. Like, don't step, don't waste your time. It's not gonna. So that clearly lets me know he loves me.
Right.
And in that way. But when I was homesick or lonely, and not that I would express it in those words, but just I might be more withdrawn and not as talkative around the house, or just not myself. And your spouse knows you know, or if he would see me on my knees for long periods of time, like I'm praying longer than normal, he'd come over and put his arm around me and stay with me the whole time. And then if my eyes were watery, then they'd be just flowing, because he's taking the time to come alongside me, literally come alongside me, and be with me in that moment. And, you know, it's gonna be okay. Or I feel the same way that you feel, you know, expressing that, because he's also not very emotionally expressive, where he will tell you exactly how he's feeling when it comes to those kinds of feelings. Like, he's got issues with things, he'll I don't understand why, or I don't appreciate blah, blah, blah. Those things he would communicate. So communicating and being more emotionally intelligent toward me is something new that I have seen increase, and it's very much appreciated. Yesterday he told me a hug. I said, I get out. Yes, I do. Yes, I do, because I'm a little texting. Yes.
I know
I
you
would
would look forward to that change in me, right?
Yeah, I mean, you are. He is, but it's like, oh, are you okay? You feeling all right today? Like when I do, you know, when he is affectionate, it's like, oh, okay, you sure you are? Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, so it has its moments, you know. But
yeah.
I don't want to overwhelm her with that. You know what I mean?
Right. That's right.
I wanted to be special, have a little moment.
I don't mind. I don't mind, because I'm a cuddly person.
In that moment, that's when you show up, because he would do that in the States too, just really give me my space. And I'm like, well, do you even care? And he's your moment, like you said, Rodney. No. We want you close. We want you
exactly.
I think the thing is, one of the things that I've noticed is that being here, it has caused us to talk a lot more than we talked, you know, when we were in the States. We talked a lot. But here, I think that we talk even more than we did in the States, because I think we do. Yeah. I mean, we spend more time with one another, I believe, here. You know, just because we are all we have.
Right.
You know, we're all we got here. And so we have to, you know, we have to be able to confide in one another. And so I think it's in a way, it's drawn us closer. And it's really, to be honest, it is it has tested our marriage.
Mhm.
It has tested our marriage. And I'm sure this is not what people would expect. You know, okay, you guys went to Africa, you know.
Right. Oh,
uh,
you have more quality time. You're breathing the fresh air. You're on the continent with your people. Didn't that enhance your marriage? It's the transition is so daunting and so challenging. It could definitely challenge you.
Yes.
Now, what do you mean when you say it has challenged our marriage?
I mean, just because all of the things that we've gone through since we've been here, and you know, we have shared things on our videos of some of the things, but there are so many more things that we have gone through since we've been here that have just been like, you know, I mean, you know, I'm upset, she's upset, you know, we're both upset at the situation and what's
Right.
going on. And so it has caused us to really, you know, it's tested our marriage, because it's like, okay, you know, we have to realize that we are not out here against one another. You know, we're on the same team. And so that's what I mean when I say it's really challenged our marriage.
Okay, I understand that, because when I hear it, I didn't want people to think that possibly it meant that were we considering no longer being married. It has tested how we relate to each other and how we're you know, and just how we interact with each other, because like you said, when you're at the height of frustration, and I mean, it starts to come out in how you respond, and your tone and your facial expression and your body language, you know. So it has challenged how we relate to each other at times, but there was never a question of whether or not the marriage was going to do anything like that. I have teased him and told him I might have to leave him here and take my baby. Here so much. We might leave you here for a little while, go take a break and stay.
You're gonna take a meat break.
Oh, goodness. So, go ahead.
You were talking about a toilet situation.
Oh, yeah, the toilet, yes.
We never.
It's always something. Okay, so we
in the Gotcha Railroad version of it's always something.
The Gotcha. So we moved into a new house, and we moved. Is this what? This is our second week here.
Yeah, we're going into the second week.
Right. No, this will be going into the.
We moved on the 23rd.
Right, we moved on the 23rd.
We're going into the third.
So we're going into the third week. So we moved on the 23rd, which is a Monday. Brand new house. And we move into the house, and it's like on a Monday, and probably like, you know, Tuesday, the toilet is not flushing properly. And so, you know, we reach out to the landlord and everything, and let them know. And I think it's probably like Wednesday or Thursday when it really just got bad. And, you know, somebody came out, and as a matter of fact, before they came out, one of so there are 5-bedroom, 3 baths, and one of the toilets flooded.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
You're talking about the very first incident?
The first incident.
Because Giselle, you know me, I'm like, okay, look, is he telling it in order? Is he getting all the details? Sorry.
So basically, put like this: 3 toilets flooded.
Oh, wow.
3. Okay, this was we had not been in the house 3 days. All 3 of the toilets flooded. So we got up one morning. As a matter of fact, it was 2 of them. No, I think it was one that was Kelsey's that had, you know, flooded. Ours was stopped up, and then yes, it was. I mean, it was something like that. I mean, the specifics aren't important. But the point is, we got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, use the bathroom, and our toilet.
That was the next night after the first guy came and took all the toilets apart to fix them, and then he put them back. And then that night after he had worked on them,
and then it flooded.
Yes, because the first night was just Cohen used the bathroom before he went to bed, read a story, say a prayer, you know, use the bathroom.
Right.
He used the bathroom, flushed it. You were standing there with him, and that squirt on the bottom of the floor came out.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Then
no, it didn't come out the bottom. It came out the back of the toilet.
Okay. And that was in the bathroom. Our guard so graciously came and cleaned all of it up, no problem. We went to sleep that night, He called. He let the landlord know. He sent someone early that morning, like 7:30. He was right on it. We are very blessed to have a responsive and very kind landlord. That's truly a blessing.
The guy
So
was there 7:00 in the morning.
Listen. And what time did he leave, honey?
He left at 7 in the evening.
It was more like 8.
My goodness! Wow.
And any of the toilets
Fix
working?
nothing.
Now, and that, he came because we
What
had a problem.
was he doing? All of
We were dysfunctional. We could not use them.
Trace.
We opted to use our outdoor washroom because most houses and the compounds have facilities for the guards and the housekeepers and what have you. So we just said we'll use that. Our landlord, again, so kind. His friend who is helping to manage the home because he builds houses, offered to put us up in a 3-bedroom, 3-bath apartment because he did not want us here. He didn't want the children to have to deal with not having a toilet to use. He was so nice. And my husband said, no, then we'll have to pack everything up. We'll have to change our routine for commuting to school. We'll be okay. We'll stay. We'll just use our other bathroom. So that night we could not use, and he got up to use the bathroom. And that's when he checked and saw, no, I went to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And one of them, the water was on. I was like, wait a minute, because the floor is white marble. I said, is the floor moving? Wait a minute. Is that?
Oh my God.
Water? So I dropped something, ripples. I said, oh my goodness.
Oh,
this
wow.
toilet is. So I maneuvered over, turned the water off. And I went and told my husband, and he showed him. I was like, oh my goodness. But there's nothing we can do because it's nighttime at this point, like 10:30. Then we go to bed. 11:30.
Yeah.
So we go to bed. Then something tells me, go check Kelsey's, because if ours is flooding the bathroom, possibly the other one is too. So I went and I checked the other bathroom. Sure enough, water was starting to fill up in that bathroom. Fortunately, they sit a little low. You have to step slightly down from a ledge to step into the bathroom. So as it was rising, it didn't come out and under the door or anything like that. So again, I maneuvered. I turned that one down, turned the water off behind that toilet. I didn't want to wake him. He was already very upset and frustrated. He had just fallen asleep. So I didn't bother him. I won't go down the hall, and I checked the third bathroom, and there was no water. Everything was fine. The floor was dry. It was all good.
But then
he got up to use the bathroom around.
It was 4 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I get up and I come to the third bathroom and get to the third bathroom, and it is water on the floor, and it's water out on the in the sitting room, the living room where we are now. And we were just like,
I heard him say, I was in the bed, of course, because it's 4-something. I heard him say, oh, I said, okay, that's the third one. There goes the third toilet. I knew that had to have been what it was. And sure enough, not only the bathroom, but it was flowing out, because that bathroom has a little incline. So it's not totally level, and water was coming out. So yeah, we dealt with that. It happened Wednesday night, that, the first incident that only bothered one toilet. And then the guy came on Thursday, didn't fix it, took all the toilets up to try to make sure that he corrected the issue. Because I guess he figured, well, if there's a problem with this one, I need to check all the other ones because I installed them the same, which makes sense. Okay. But by 4 o'clock, I knew he could not have known what he was doing, because it was taking so long, and the bathrooms look filthy. There's no resolution whatsoever. And then we dealt with that Thursday night. And again,
then Friday morning, that's when somebody else came.
A different person.
Person came. The landlord had somebody else come, and they actually fixed it. So by Friday, afternoon, Friday noon, something like that, everything was back to normal.
Yeah, we were able to use the brand new bathrooms. I said we were the guinea pigs. We broke the house in. It broke us. It almost broke us in. But we're still thankful that we have the opportunity to live in this house, in this area, and that it's brand new. And we haven't had any other issue. Well, our water pump screeches a little bit, but that should be fixable pretty easily. So yeah, that was the first episode of It's Always Something in Got You Ridro.
Right. Yes.
Sounds like he just had somebody that he knew. This guy was actually a plumber. Just come there and try to.
So we were told by the friend of the owner, like I told you, the landlord has a friend who is in building, and he said because he did not build the house, the landlord did not start the building project. He came in toward the end of the building project and purchased the home. So the original owner had his own crew and his own people, and they ended up having, they just called the original installer of the toilets to come in because I guess they figured, well, he'll probably know what he did and he can fix it. But they preferred not to. He said, you know, I know a guy who, and he's professional, he'll have it done in 20 minutes, but it's not my house, it's not my project. The landlord, you know, sent the original person probably because he was thinking, listen, y'all did something wrong. You're going to have to fix it for my tenants because you didn't do something right and I shouldn't have to pay for it. So that's probably what happened.
Yeah, sound like y'all got
But
a
they, you know,
landlord too. I mean,
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
yeah,
Really good.
because we have heard quite a few horror stories about landlords, and you know it can happen in the States too. Like when we hear all kind of videos we've seen in Ghana and in Tanzania where people landlords have not taken full responsibility for things that take place in the houses. Like you rent the place. We heard videos. You can rent, you're paying your rent, but they act like you own it. So you have to pay for everything.
Right.
Who have had those issues, but our landlord, it has not been that way. So we're really thankful.
That's a blessing. Wow.
Mhm.
Well, I'm glad they ended up fixing the situation because I had to step out and use the restroom. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Okay.
missed all the details.
I'm
But
sorry,
it
y'all.
wasn't so smooth. We'll say it
Oh
like that.
goodness, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My medicine I take, it gives me the urge to use the restroom. So y'all.
That's
Oh,
okay.
I understand.
Fine.
Let's see. Okay, I don't want to miss any comments. Shoe Bar says we need that as women. Well, I hope the continent brush a little more on my hubby. LOL.
Continent shoe barb.
Deborah says, have the lack of certain conveniences helped to change your mindset for the better, meaning you're willing to do without? That's a good one.
Question.
That's a real good question.
Mhm.
So for me, I won't say that it has changed it for the better. I am one. My wife will tell you I am probably more of a minimalist. I can do without. And so, you know, I knew that coming here, there will be a lot of conveniences that we would have to give up. In fact, I guess probably about, 6 months to probably about a year before we left, when we were in the process of saving, I was, telling my wife, we don't need this, we don't need that. If it's not food, why do we need it? And so I can do without the conveniences. Now my wife, on the other hand, she can.
Not so easy.
I'm not a high maintenance person. I'm not.
No.
And so, and I'm not saying that you were saying that I am, babe. I'm just saying, so it has not been as difficult as some people may think. However, I think for me as a mother, certain conveniences are important for me because it allows me to have access to things that establish my home and keep my home running efficiently and give it a certain dynamic and aesthetic. I still want to put my touch on things. I want it to look like our home. I want to be able to get through a meal quickly. So there's certain utensils and things I've talked about on my YouTube channel that I prefer to have. So to a certain extent, there are some certain conveniences that have helped to change my mindset for the better. I wouldn't say change my mindset for the better because I think I'm of the same mindset I was before. It's just that now I'm actually having to put it into practice and be practical. I just simply can't go to Walmart or Target and get everything in one shopping trip.
Right.
Today we went grocery shopping and we have to go to several different places to get the things that we need in our household. You just have to do it. And sometimes it's way out of the way, especially if you're shopping on a budget. Now, if you can say whatever, I'll spend whatever I want to spend. I mean, go to that one place and pay. But that level of inconvenience has taught me just deal. Yeah, it's a challenge, but what are you gonna do? Complain about it, or you can get with the program, figure out what those places are. And we just determined, well, Sunday has to be our grocery shopping day because that'll give us time to hop to all the various places to get what we need.
Gotcha.
But it has caused me to answer the question, to actually literally put into practice dealing with less, having less. I had 130 something pairs of shoes in the States. Because my 130 something pairs of shoes.
What?
Yes.
I don't even have that many pairs of shoes. Wow.
It's not grown probably since I was like in the 7th grade. So a lot of my shoes I kept for years and years and years because my dad taught me how to keep up with them. You put taps on them. You know, you got children, can't be buying all that shoes. They get some holes or get worn, put a new sole, put some taps, polish them up, keep them looking good, take care of them.
Omar, do you hear that?
And if you have multiple, then you don't have to wear down the same ones all the time. So, and then as I started working, I got more shoes. So I like shoes, right? I came with 9. Only 3 of them are heels, and we go to church every week. I made it work. I made it work. Do I want some more of my shoes to match my outfits a little bit? Yeah.
I have to clap on that because that's a lot of shoes to let go. Like, wow.
I sold a lot of.
Your husband didn't have any room for his. I guess he is.
Oh no, he put his stuff in a whole separate bag, baby. We can't share the bag for shoes. Cannot.
You want a huge closet. That's the only thing.
So Keenan, you got the little section in the closet, and the rest of them, right? And the rest was ours.
This is my corner right here. This is my corner. That's all I had.
That's not you talking about at the house in Nashville?
Yeah.
He did. That was a bit. That could be a room when I had COVID. The closet in Nashville were actually quarantined in there. Put an air mattress, little.
Yeah, so it was a nice.
It was a really good sized closet.
Okay.
I did have 75% of it.
Oh yes, we know.
But since we've been here, you come and there's a wardrobe. There isn't a closet. There's not a room where you have racks and you hang your stuff. And the wardrobes they measure them the length of the wall. And they split them in half. He has a half, you have a half. So we have the exact same amount this time. I just had to make it work.
Wow.
We have the exact same amount. Let's be clear. We have the exact same amount
of space.
But we don't have the exact amount of clothes because her clothes take up the entire wardrobe. And it does take up
the entire one. Oh,
it takes up the whole
my
wardrobe.
Dresses that are hanging on the rack.
Right, takes up the entire wardrobe, and you have 2 or 3 bags that are not packed up.
2 bags.
Well, 2 bags. That's what I said, 2 or 3 bags. And then I have one wardrobe that is half filled.
Once again,
40%. He didn't hang his pants.
No,
and his jeans.
hold on. Probably about 35 to 40% filled with my stuff. And now she just put my daughter's stuff in here, put my daughter's stuff in there.
Oh my.
Got to get her wardrobe. And then my son's stuff, his stuff is in there.
That's because
you got half of a wardrobe.
What?
So you got half of a wardrobe.
I have half of a wardrobe.
He has access to a whole half of a wardrobe. Where he chooses to put in that half is on him.
It sounds like y'all need to open up a thrift store.
There you go.
Yeah, let's see.
She probably won't let it go though.
You mean to give things away or sell from our closet?
Your closet.
No, so let me be clear.
You're not my friend no more. I already gave away a whole lot of stuff before I moved up. You told me you got 2 pieces of luggage. That's it, 2. Do you know I probably could have brought 20, but I purged and I gave a lot away. No thrift store, sir.
Okay.
Thing. She's right. She did give away a lot.
She did.
And she
Definitely.
probably literally brought 20 suitcases. This is no lie.
Wait, excuse me.
I said she could have probably.
Okay. Woo.
I mean, because she had. See. I don't know about you, Rodney, but I had.
Oh, you see that?
Set of clothes that were for all year round.
Right.
Okay. So, I didn't go downstairs into the attic or into the garage or whatever and change over my whole wardrobe.
Seasonally.
Okay, seasonally.
Spring, summer, winter, fall. Sweaters big and thick and boots, and they take up space. You can't fit everything in the closet at the same time. I know I'm not the only woman with the seasonal change of wardrobe for the closet space.
I didn't say you were. I'm just saying, my stuff stayed in.
Look at Giselle's space.
My stuff stayed in the whole year.
Because suits they don't change.
So, you know,
Listen,
It's
I
true.
got,
The problem is, I love the thrift store, and if I could go and get a wool coat, a pea coat for $4, do you think I'm leaving that there? I was not.
too much of a bargain, huh? You can't
So,
let
so
that.
going to the thrift store and getting stuff really inexpensively meant that I got quite a few things a couple of times. But
I'm proud of you. I really am because I have never heard anybody have that a lot of shoes like that. So you really did a great job. Now, when it comes to when it's time for us to go, I don't know.
And as far as closet space goes,
I'm not over on your side yet.
she the percentage is about the same. I
No,
got,
I can tell you all in that
I noticed
closet
I
right
got
now.
my
That
section,
is
and then
not
I go
true.
to look through my clothes. I'm like, I don't wear a dress. What is
Oh, he's talking about the drawer. He's talking about the dresser drawer, but not the closet.
that's
He's
how
like,
I'm with-
how you have your stuff in mine? I'm like, I need more space.
Yeah. We got what? Two. We got a chest, a dresser,
Yeah, we have a chest and a dresser. And that's it.
and I got about 3 of the drawers.
Well, I plead the
Not
fifth
everything.
on that one.
You're talking about
I need to have one made.
like 12 drawers. I got about 3.
I have
I
nothing.
have to say either. I'm sorry, I can't help you because
Yes, I have
Yeah.
nothing to say.
I'm just saying I can relate. I understand.
Oh boy.
I think that's a typical thing for guys, though, unless you're like really a guy that's really into fashion and wearing clothes,
Right.
as many clothes as
Exactly. Yeah.
like.
Yep, that's true. All right, we're gonna go on the next question before
Where
we
do you
all
think
get in
your-
trouble.
Okay.
So
Oh,
Giselle, prepare to plan your storage and be strategic about what you bring. And I'll say this: there are things where my heart has hurt that I don't have anymore. So, leave it with a family member, save it, put it aside. You might get it later because there's some stuff that I saw him scooping up and take it to the car and take to the Goodwill, and I'm like, wait, but I got busy to go from the car, and now I'm like, that black and white Pico or that black and white would have been so cute with blah, 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 or I'm cold and I would have had, so ladies, yes, you need to give some things away in purge. You're not going to need every single thing that you own to come. But I am telling you, if I could go back and tell myself 6 months ago, there would have been at least 2 more plastic crates going to my parents' house with some of the things that were dear to me as far as attire.
Well, Deborah Green said I had a seasonal clothes too, but I'm single. My closet is totally mine. Lucky you.
No shame.
Oh goodness. All right. So
she got rid of stuff.
Yeah, she did. She said I got rid of all my expensive clothes, shoes, hats to prepare to leave here. Yes, she did.
Yeah, I've been whispering in the ear about that.
What?
You have a lot of things.
Yeah, I have a lot of papers, and I said I'm going to go through and just kind of scan a lot of the things on the computer.
You know what else?
Now,
huh?
Start now. Don't you want to move, so don't procrastinate.
That's what I've been trying to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Little bit by little bit. Once you know you have in your head that eventually, even if it's next year, going through, and I started going through our file cabinet and old tax papers and old receipts and things like that, and shredding them or scanning them so that you're not overwhelmed closer to the time that you move.
Right.
Start.
That's what I was trying to do. Yeah, definitely.
I know I said things, but things/junk.
Don't get yourself in trouble now on this live.
Precious to her, but I look at him like,
if I left it up to him, everything will be thrown out.
I'm like, that's why
everything.
I have to watch.
I can relate to that because like she'll have her back turned. I'm trying to sneak out to the trash.
And I'd be like, wait,
where are you going with that?
What's it? Exactly, honey. Y'all are not right.
And the kids, they do not, if they don't clean their room, I said, now you know your daddy coming in there. They be like, okay, I'm gonna do it now because they know
I'm throwing away.
He throw it away.
That's right.
If you don't meet that time, then they know what's gonna happen.
And we go right to him. We'll say, Dad, did
Wait a
you
minute.
throw away such and such? And he said, well, why are you always coming to me? Because we know you throw away things.
I would throw away clothes. I don't care if I
Yeah.
tell you to clean it up and you're not doing it by a certain time.
Yeah.
Come on, that's right.
Yeah,
I feel
I'm
you.
the same
I'm
way you
there.
is. Obviously, you didn't want it because I told you to put it up. So
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
What is-
Like the floor is not the right place for that.
you.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see. Does Rwanda have a path to citizenship? If yes, what does that process look like?
as far as I know, we haven't delved and done a lot of research into that. But as far as I know, they do because we know someone posted on the Blacks Pat WhatsApp group that we're on a while ago. There, a picture, an image of theirs they have received. I believe they have been here 7 years though before they could apply for that. And I don't know what other. But so the answer is yes, but I don't know all of the qualifications.
Okay, that's fair. Next question. Referring back to, I know I asked you, do you plan on getting your permanent residency? And you all said not yet because you're still trying to fill out and see if Rwanda is, your potential home.
Mhm.
But do you know, like, do you know if it's best to, like, if somebody is interested in doing permanent residency, do you know if it's better to do it in Rwanda or if it's better to do it, wherever they came from?
I don't think you can do anything like that from where you came from.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can get a permit like the visa, the 10-year visa, the reciprocity visa, which allows you to be here for 10 years.
Through the U.S. Embassy in the States. You can go through Washington to apply for that.
But you can't get
citizenship.
You can't get
residency.
citizenship right from the state or from the place that you're coming from.
And
No,
you
I
have
mean, like, for example, not the citizenship, but
a
like
visa.
some African places they have like you could do temporary residency or permanent residency. So I was
Mhm.
asking more along the lines of the permanent residency. Like, do you have to apply in Rwanda or wherever you came from?
So that's what I'm saying. Like with the one thing that we know about as far as allowing you to stay, extensively is the
Okay.
10-year
10 years.
V12,
Okay.
and you can do that in the States or whatever country you are residing in at the time.
But they do have long-term residency or temporary residency visas. Now, I will say this: what we have learned, even if you could do this from somewhere else, you don't want to, because we have learned that things get done more effectively and efficiently
In person.
This culture is a culture that wants to see you face to face, or that you need to go in person and fully explain yourself, give the full context of what your needs are, and document, because there are processes where they are online and websites, like my husband mentioned, going to the embassy. We had a whole long back and forth. After we arrived, we got our visa upon arrival, our 30-day tourist visa, with the plan to potentially get a 2-year or the reciprocity 10-year. But what we ended up doing while we were still figuring some things out and determining whether or not we were going to do employment was that we applied for the 30-day extension,
It was
tourist
a
visa,
90-day extension
for the, and you should do that online on arimbo.gov and upload all your documents and everything should be fine. But it was not that way. He had to go in person several times, and he would go, and either the date was printed wrong on the sticker, the one sticker, two of our girls there switched the images on the visas, and they said, okay, come back next week, or I can't remember. I'm not going to have the specific date, but he had to come back to the point where by the time we finally got it, it was almost time for it to expire.
Oh, wow.
So in person here is better. Even when it comes to my employment, I've requested things by email, had small conversations by email or what have you, but they'll say, come by the office and we can talk about it. Or are you available to talk? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, sure. text me the time that you're available and I'll call you at such and such time. And they're like, oh, no. What time can you do lunch? What time can you do dinner? When they say, can you talk about it or we need to talk about it, they mean
They want
in
to
person.
see you in person.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in Rwanda.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So much to do things face to face in person. That is how they operate best.
Okay. Oh, wait. Let me see what everyone's talking about in the chat. Deborah Green said, you're right. Start now. I had 17 bags of shredded paperwork, past bills, teacher stuff, etc. I probably have more than that too. Wow. Shoe Barb says, now I'm with the men. I throw away stuff in a heartbeat. It was saved on time when you're ready to move. Yes.
Yeah, very much.
What do you think is the best visa to apply for if you don't own a business or you're not a student?
Depends on how long you want to stay. Are you talking about you're moving and this is your home and you're going to be here forever?
And also the thing is, it depends on your situation, because we don't own a business, but you have the 10-year reciprocity visa. You have the which allows you to stay here for 10 years, but you have to leave every 6 months. You got to go to another country. You got to leave Rwanda and then come back. And so then you also have the work permits. So for instance, if you have someone who works here, so which is what we're on. So my wife has a contract to be employed here. And so because of that, she's on a work permit and we are considered the dependent. So myself and my children are allowed to be here with her because she's on a work permit.
So to get some detail for that was back and forth and a lot of following up and going in person as well. And looking up, because there's some nuances or when you read the descriptions of the visas, sometimes it's not always clear that this is the best one.
So this is also why I wanted to have the interview, because we went on there and I've had expression. I'm like, okay, this is not too clear at all.
You have to talk to somebody, because that's what we had to do. So we were fortunate that we, knew somebody here, and they were able to connect us with the individual who is the
department head,
right? The department head. And so we were able to speak with that individual, and they kind of gave us, some insight guidance on the exact one to apply for. And it's probably best that when you get on the ground, you go, like she said, face to face, you talk to somebody there and you say, hey, this is where I am. This is what I'm trying to do. This is how long I want to be here. What's the best option? And they will explain to you, they'll let you know what the best thing. Which visa to apply for.
So after I secured the contract for employment, we applied, and it was $150 for the work visa. They is a permit to work. They also call it visa. And like my husband said, I was able to put on my application my 4 dependents, my husband and my children, and theirs were $75 if that's the way you want to go. And it allows you to be here 2 years to work for someone else. If you get that visa, you cannot own your own business. However, if you get the reciprocity, you can own your own business, but you cannot be employed by Rwanda. Right. You can't work in Rwanda. So they have 2 different purposes. And then toward the end of my 2 years, while it is still active, if this is where we're going to be, I'll reapply.
Or we'll figure out,
or he said you can apply for a change of status. Mm-hmm. So let's say we want to open a couple of Airbnbs. Okay, so we're going into business for ourselves. We're settled now. We've earned a little bit of income, and I'm not going to work for someone else anymore. I would just apply for a change in status. And that information was given to us at a sit-down meeting where literally they called us, or one of the deputies said, listen, why don't you come in and sit down and talk to us and we can guide you. And when we got there and they introduced themselves, she explained, she said, listen, we just think that it would probably a better idea for us to hear your story.
Right.
You came and what you plan to do so we can know exactly what's going on
Mhm.
and what you have in your hand right now, as far as this job is concerned, so we can tell you instead of continuing to ask you for things and it's not getting connected between Arimbo and the immigration office, because that had been going back and forth. Let's just find out what you're doing. Not let's talk on the phone, let's email. She said, come in at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So they don't have like a place like if you move in the, you know, you could find all these things out in one.
Oh, one
spot,
facility,
like as far as like
all the information and everything.
housing and different things like that.
So there is Arimbo is the site where you find all of the, I mean, a lot of the information that you're looking for. And in regards to housing, that's something completely different. Go ahead.
Could your wife, are you able to, can you write it in the chat, please?
I think so. Can I, babe? I can't see
Yeah.
anything.
Weren't you on your phone? I think at one point. Can you go on your phone maybe and write it?
Let's see if I can put it right here.
And then I'll post it up.
Comments.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, babe. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna put it right here. Okay, keep talking, honey.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
I forgot what we're saying.
You were saying
yeah, so
the
Arimbo, you go to
location of the
Arimbo, I think it's is it
.gov.
Arimbo. So you go to Arimbo and they have a lot of the information that you need, that you would need. Now, in regards to housing, that's something completely different.
What do you mean, Rodney, by housing? What do you mean?
Like finding
like cost, where who, you know, who was renting, who was where,
what areas and things like that. Kind of like a center, I guess, like a center to go to for information.
Arimbo.gov is specifically a computerized a government agency for purpose of government documents like land titles, driver's license, visa applications, work permits, marriage licenses. It's for government documents.
All of that stuff.
Oh,
You're trying to find a house or rent a house, then you will look at their different websites that you can go to
and
that
Facebook pages.
a Facebook marketplace. Facebook marketplace, you can find things on there as well.
And various Facebook pages specifically for homes in Rwanda. Like a lot of brokers will have their own Facebook page and they post.
Brokers are
houses.
realtors. We would call them realtors.
gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to tell them what you're doing with your head? Because they probably want.
I told them I'm using my oil
Oh, you
because
did?
yeah,
Okay.
because my migraine. So I'm trying to do everything I can.
Essential
I
oil.
wasn't paying attention. That's all right. I wasn't paying attention.
I just don't want them to think you like scratching dandruff. or something.
No, I'm using essential oils because my migraine guys. I'm trying to get you.
Okay.
I had a question. Oh, about the 10-year one. Is there any specific qualifications you need to be able to, I guess, go under this 10-year bracket?
We can't give you the specifics, but if you go on migration, if you go on it's migration. Let me see.
He's looking it up real quick. Yeah, it'll give you the qualifications and requirements listed there.
If you go to migration.gov.rw.
I think I went under there. It still wasn't too clear, but I don't know.
The embassy also, I think the U.S. embassy, if you put in Rwanda, might have a link to a little, because they know Americans need to understand it. If I'm not mistaken, when I was doing
I hope I spelled that right.
embassy.
.rw.
MIGR.
Oh, migration.gov.rw.
Oh, I forgot.
MIG instead of MIR.
So if you go in there, you will find the information. But like we said, you'll get like an overview of the information, but .rw, .gov.rw.
.gov.rw.
Y'all get the idea. I'm done.
Yeah. It can be a little ambiguous too. Like, well, which one is this one? Because I applied for one work permit thinking that was the one I should have applied for. They said, no, you don't need the H6, you need the H2. And I'm like, well, they sound so familiar. And this one says you're giving a service for blah, blah, blah. And that's when the Directorate General, said, no, just do that one.
No, it's saying it's wrong, but maybe it doesn't recognize it. All right, this is the right one, guys. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Right.
Message.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have, let me see. I'll go back to it. Hopefully, this is Deborah. She said, hopefully when it becomes open borders, it will stop the process of
Yeah.
leaving and coming back into the country. Exactly. And some countries are actually working on that. I think it's
Yes.
actually, well,
Yeah.
I know
That's
for
hard.
sure with the, with you being able to get the citizenship, either with Sierra Leone or Ghana, they have about 15 African countries that you can move about freely. But it's under the ECOWAS.
Yeah.
ECOWAS. Yeah.
Yeah, the ECOWAS. So
No, the ECOWAS I think is different because the ECOWAS is for Eastern,
Right.
East African countries.
No, the
No,
Western.
no, it's the West.
It's the West.
it's the West.
With
Yeah.
some women,
Okay.
Wody Meyer,
Yeah, I
they
saw the
couldn't-
Wody
they
Meyer.
couldn't- they
Oh, yeah,
couldn't
that's
go
right.
to the-
That's
The
right.
East is they're not breaking right now, but let's hope and pray that eventually they play catch up.
Well, like I said, they're trying to do it. They're trying to do a visa free
Oh,
with like 7 countries.
oh yeah, but
All
I'm
of
saying
Rwanda
as
is
a
one of
collective, I'm hoping all
Yeah.
and everybody just.
them. I know Rwanda is one of them countries that trying
Yeah.
to get involved.
Yes.
They're also trying to bring more awareness to the fact that the borders are not necessary anymore, and
Right.
that they came as a result of colonization. And some of the government leaders, I know Kenya's president has been talking to other presidents and trying to get them to let the continent be borderless, so that there aren't as many barriers for the people of Africa to whom the continent belongs can explore it and experience other cultures and
Exactly.
realize we're all brothers and sisters and what have you, as Africans that they are.
That's
So
right.
hopefully they'll make some.
And then also, aren't they trying to also do like one language too as well, right?
They're
Overall.
trying to do official
Interesting.
currency and language.
So that would be wonderful, wonderful.
And languages.
The
That's kind of
currency is supposed to come this year.
I'm sorry.
The single currency is supposed to come this year.
I mean, I could see the currency,
Mhm.
but the language that will be
Okay.
impossible.
Right.
Maybe it's
like
still.
one,
I mean, it's just
one
one
common,
common
everybody
language.
knows it.
But
Yeah, like
that's-
Swahili. I think
They said
Swahili.
They want to make, because
Mhm.
I guess in that particular region, that might be the most spoken
Spoken,
language.
right?
But I know as far as the continent itself, there's more language spoken there
Right.
than any other place in the world.
Right.
So
Right.
I get what you're saying about the difficulty
Yeah.
with that, but
Mhm.
they're
Mhm.
trying to,
That's
guess
probably why
make
they
it, put
picked.
it on paper, make it official.
That's probably why they picked Swahili. They probably figure it may be
Yeah,
a little
it's
easier
real.
to learn,
It's a
or
com-
it's a common
language.
one. Yeah. The
Mhm.
next, let's see. Shoe Barb said it takes too much energy to go back to correct something. I'd rather go in person too. Yeah, I do too. I like the person, the one-on-one.
Mhm.
I don't like the email because sometimes you misunderstanding what the other person is saying. So yeah, I'm down.
Wait,
What we're saying is, even though he went in person, he would have to go back. He'd get there and be like, "Oh, wait a minute. This says one of our daughter's names, and this is not her picture. This says the other one is not her picture. Okay, we'll fix it.
Yeah, mistake, and they don't.
This fix, and they have the expiration date wrong. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, you go back. Oh, I came to pick it up. You told me it was gonna be ready. Oh, but we don't have her picture anymore. It must have gotten deleted in the system."
Oh Lord.
Every time he went, and there was something.
Wow. So the communication.
So you
yeah.
just when you do that, it's like walk-in or appointments.
It's walk-in and appointments.
Yeah, they'll tell you
So-
if you need to come back at a certain time for something. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, babe.
they send you a message by text. Just about everything is tied to your phone. When I mean everything
So
is
get a
tied
Rwandan
to
number.
your Rwandan number. So what happens is they send you. I mean, like if you get a ticket, your traffic ticket is tied to your phone.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So when you get your tag, it's tied to your phone number.
Oh my.
you know-
goodness. You have to have enough space on your phone.
No, it's not having enough space on what it is. So
They'll
when
send you
they
communication.
they send you all of your communications, everything goes to your number.
Not an email, because not everybody has a computer or access to an email or an email
Right.
address. Lots of people
Is
don't
it
have.
through text messages where you're getting all the information?
Messages.
Oh,
Yes.
okay,
So
okay. I thought maybe apps that you needed.
oh no, not apps. So like if a road is going to be closed, or like today it was car free day, from 8 to 10, and so they send it to your text. The police send it to your text.
Okay.
They send it by text to your phone. So
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. For the East Side, Deborah said they are making Swahili the official language. Okay,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
Is that the same as Swahili?
I think she's meaning Swahili.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question. What is you and your wife favorite local food in Rwanda?
Our favorite local food. I would say our favorite local spot. We haven't been there in a while. It's probably actually, I mean, if we're talking about Rwandan
Not
food,
restaurant.
Yes,
Rwanda.
Rwandan food. Yes.
It is I would have to say a restaurant. It's a restaurant called Freedom Restaurant, and they sell.
I'm surprised. I thought you were going to say Borneo.
No, that's not
Your
Rwandan
favorite?
food.
That's true. That's Indonesian.
Right. So there is a place here called Freedom Restaurant, and it is we were mentioning this, I think, in the last video, where you can get like your peas, your rice, your
Okay, I remember you did that.
pati. What else you get there?
What
Like
is
your
pati? What is that?
avocado.
What's pati?
I'm sorry.
What is pati?
Chapati.
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 It's like, have you had Indian naan? The bread,
Oh,
flat
yeah,
bread,
yes, yes.
None?
like
Yeah, the
that.
naan bread, which I always like something else.
Oh, I heard
It's
of
not
it. I don't think I
fluffy. Soft. It's kind of like a big, thick tortilla, a
Okay,
big flour tortilla.
Soft
It's kind of like
tortilla.
that.
okay.
My favorite would be Africa Bite, because
Right.
I
I was
think
just gonna say
Africa
one of the
Bite,
two.
they have a little bit more flavor and seasoning in their food.
The
Okay.
foods are the same. The
traditional,
foods are pretty
yeah.
much the same.
Like,
But it's two different restaurants, and so it's like peas. Like if you eat meat, they have
some kind
I
of
don't know what the kind of meat stew they have, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Like beans and stuff like that. And so it's I mean it is very inexpensive. You're talking about like Freedom Restaurant is cheaper than Africa Bite. That's the one we told you all of us ate for like $17.
Wow. Ooh, unheard of over here.
No.
It's not including drinks.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I think that particular day we ate $17. They didn't charge us for colds.
Oh, yeah.
So, but if all five of us, we're talking about maybe $20. And so because it's the local food, you
Mhm.
get it very, very cheap.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So
that's
are they on the? They got the big tipping culture like we do here. No.
No.
I hear that if they hear your accent and they see that you're American, they know that Westerners
Are accustomed to
to tipping,
so they probably
might
expect
it
that.
a little bit. But if you don't, you don't see a facial expression, you don't see
Oh,
anything.
that's good. No attitudes and yeah.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Customarily, they not tip each other. Rwandans
Right.
don't tip in restaurants or what have you, but they kind of know that we do, so they expect it a little
Gotcha.
heard. We try to anyway because we know they make so little.
Right, right. Do you all know what about your children? What kind of Rwandan food they like?
Definitely chapati. They all love the chapati. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm telling you, it's just like this big, huge, thick tortilla, warm, always served warm, and they'll just break it apart and roll it and eat, and they'll put things in it, and they love it. If we're going anywhere, Mommy, are they gonna have chapati? Are they gonna have chapati?
Right. So
That's their favorite. They're not big on the beans.
okay.
Not at all. They like the basmati rice or the rice jollof.
No, they don't have
Pilau
jollof
rice.
rice.
They like the
Pilau.
seasoned pilau, the seasoned rice too.
Oh, okay, okay. You were gonna say
So-
something.
Like Nigerian,
Nigerian
and
and
Ghanaian.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's pretty much
Oh, he forgot.
I
We'll
gotta-
come back.
I gotta come back to it. I gotta come back to it. I got old man syndrome.
Oh
over here.
goodness.
It's all right.
I know we're kind of going far ahead,
Mhm.
but have you looked into any colleges yet for at least your oldest?
So our oldest wants to go to school in the States.
She wants to go to Oakwood.
She wants to go to
Oh,
Oakwood.
Okay.
So we are okay with that. We're fine with that.
Mhm.
It is. Let me tell you, the universities here
Mhm.
are not cheap. They're just
Oh,
dirt
okay.
cheap. I mean, dirt cheap.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say hi. He
Yeah,
said, "Don't
yeah,
you?" Oh,
I
wow. Okay.
heard.
Imagine going for
That
the
was my
whole
next question.
semester for $200.
Excuse me.
Books.
Wow.
Oh, I think they have to get their own books. But I think
So
the whole
I-
year is like 2,000.
No,
For the
no, it's not the
entire-
entire year. I mean, at one of the schools, it's
What, University of
Alca.
Rwanda?
Yeah, no, Alca. I know is like $200 something per semester.
Might want to start whispering in your daughter's ear, you know, like this.
Hey, let's go check out these colleges.
Let's go for a
Yeah.
tour and see what you think
Today
about
we're
it.
going to so and so. We're just gonna walk around the campus.
Wow.
What do you
Man,
think?
listen, when we came, I was thinking that I have my master's, my wife has her doctorate, and I was thinking, man, I might have to take a class or two. I might have to get another degree.
Why not?
He sure is.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's.
Do you know if the
That's
if
amazing.
it's transferable or you haven't really dabbled into it?
I haven't looked
Okay.
into it.
Okay.
Okay.
But still.
Wow. Do you know
So,
of one in particular?
One
Yeah.
university in particular?
Yes.
Yes.
University of Rwanda, right? Isn't that it?
No, I
Yes.
don't.
Yes.
I don't know if university.
Because I
of
think
Rwanda-
they combined campuses. I was told that they had several different colleges and universities,
mhm.
and to get uniformity and higher quality standard of education and make their degrees more valuable, they combined some campuses. Because I went to a campus and visited, and I was impressed. Let me see. Yeah, University of Rwanda, Kigali. I want to make sure it's not Rwanda University, but I think it's University of Rwanda. Went to the School of Medicine because I met with the dean of medicine, who was also a physiotherapist when I, trying to make my connections. And I got a little tour of the university. Really nice buildings, nice campus. It was quiet. I think a lot of the students were on break at the time. But yes, it's University of Rwanda. They have one. There's University of Kigali. But I think they combined those two, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
College of Science and Medicine is where I went to visit, and it was pretty nice.
Wow, I can't get over the $200.
Either
for a
because our
semester.
daughter's in the 10th grade, but we're definitely looking into some colleges.
So I guess
Now,
that-
did you know that you expect her to go to college there, or do you expect her to go to college there? Is she interested or willing to go to college?
this sounds more like
It's
she
just
wants to go here.
Yeah, but it's just another option. So in case she doesn't, I'm not doubting that she won't get a scholarship, but I like to look at both ends,
Yeah.
So if she doesn't, then and she wants to go, unless she's gonna pay herself to, herself out of her pocket to stay here, then you'll be going to school in Africa. So that's how that's
Mom
gonna
and
be.
daddy could easily afford it.
Exactly.
All right. And
Love
I'm
your
sure
dress.
that
Oh,
the
thank
books-
you,
I'm sure the
Gigi.
books aren't that expensive either. If the semester only.
I mean, 200 means.
Yeah.
I've heard that the textbooks can be a little bit expensive, but they do a lot of things.
You with that for 200? You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, wow.
But think about it though. This is $200,
The cost of living
200,000
here is-
Rwandan francs for a Rwandan is quite expensive.
Right, right,
Okay.
right.
But you got to remember that's for this whole semester. So yes, it is $200 for us.
Right,
I mean, yes, cheap,
Compared to
but
what we pay.
compared to
right.
for them, it still wouldn't be very expensive because it would be the semester and not for for the month.
Right.
So still it would be affordable
They
you
do
know.
3 terms though here. Don't all of the schools aren't they all on a 3-term
I don't know if
schedule?
universities are on 3-term or not.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked into a prepaid college program, and they did an estimate, and for 2 of my kids, they told me it would cost $500,000. Yeah, for a 4-year university.
So you see why we looking?
Yeah, when I saw that number, I'm like,
Woo!
woo, I think I better do overtime or something. I don't know
No,
what.
I wouldn't even.
Overtime.
Yeah. I was like, that's a crazy number.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
$200 a semester, we will be doing a college tour
Yes.
on the
yes.
continent.
Matter of fact, we were going to
So-
do that this year, but because we have to handle business in Zanzibar,
Mhm.
we'll
Mhm.
wait. Most High will next year because we're definitely interested.
But we was told, I don't think it was quite that
As we-
cheap,
right.
but South Africa, it was pretty inexpensive too.
Right, still.
Mm.
They had one of the top universities
Right.
on the continent.
And it's as far as we know, it's
Yeah.
transferable. So,
So, yeah,
here's a question for you for Deborah. Where in Rwanda are you living?
We are in Kigali, in the capital, and we live in an area of town called Gachuriro. Gacuriro, Gachuriro.
okay.
Okay. Is that like what would they consider that area
Like
like?
outskirts.
Yeah,
of the
is
city
it more
or-
reasonable?
It's in the city. It's in the city.
Okay.
Okay.
So where we were living before in Kagarama was considered the outskirts.
Okay.
Or we would say the suburbs, but the outskirts. Where we are now is in the city.
Which is it more busy when you're, trying to get where you're going, or
Yes.
opposed to where you were at?
No, I mean it's Rhonda is growing,
Okay.
and also because it's traffic here is a mess,
Okay.
a hot mess, and also because one of the things I've learned is about probably about 3 weeks ago, they changed the time, and so initially all government workers had to be at work at 7:00.
Okay.
And children had to be at school at I think it was like 7:30, something like that. I can't remember. But what they did is they pushed the time back 30 minutes. So now children have to be at school 30 minutes later. And what they did is they pushed the time back for government workers. Now, instead of being at 7, they have to be there at 9. So because of that, it makes the traffic crazy because everybody is leaving literally at the same time.
Oh, wow.
What we would do is when we would leave, I would leave early enough to beat the traffic. But now, because everybody is going, at this basically at the same time, because our children have to be to school later, it puts us in traffic, especially when after I drop off my girls and on the way back to drop off my son. But where we are, to answer your question, where we are, depending on the direction that you're going, the traffic it can be crazy. Can be crazy. Yeah.
Gotcha. Would you say you all spend more time as a family now than in the States?
Do we spend more time as a family now as opposed to in the States?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know. We were together quite a lot in the States.
Okay.
It's a different kind of time. We are together a lot, like of course on the weekends we're always all together. When they're not in school, they don't have extracurricular things after school or outside of school, so it's home to school all week, and then the weekend we are together. So I really don't think
there's that much of a difference,
because it was pretty much the same. There. Now, and it's probably because our children are younger. They're not going off doing their own thing, spending time with friends and what have you. And we're not working very hectic jobs that pull us away.
Okay.
So it's probably the routine is about the same.
It is.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely wanted to ask that question. I felt that was really important.
Fun.
Hold on, let's see. Sue Barb is saying, "Who is that education price for 200? Me? LOL.
Could be, yeah.
I will play Jeopardy for a couple of years for that price compared to here." Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
How much roughly would you say you spend now in Africa?
Are you saying per month?
Yeah, like yeah, per month.
Living expense.
Yeah, living expenses, just everything overall.
Total month.
Total month. So our monthly expenses, I'll take out school because we pay that per term.
Okay.
But our monthly expenses are about, including rent.
I think but just before you say it, I think add about $500 on top of what you about to say, because for the extra
Yeah.
sprinkled in that.
No, I mean it's we spend probably about maybe $1,500-$1,600 a month. That's, I mean, and that's a family of 5.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
It's a family of 5.
So
Yeah.
definitely you would say from Nashville and Africa, of course, Africa, it has been more affordable.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah,
we
you
pay
can.
more in rent
Right.
in
Right.
than what we are paying for all of our expenses,
Yeah.
the expenses here.
Wow.
Because we
So
Makes a big difference.
yeah,
Because I think I might have said it last time. There are things that are a lot more expensive here,
right.
Right.
because you're spending such a smaller amount on the housing expense for
Mhm.
the property, depending on your lifestyle. Because people say,
Right.
"What's the cost of living?" Well, it depends on how you live.
Right.
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 I mean, we're not getting it how everybody else lives.
Right.
So, depending on your own personal budget, there are people who pay $2,000 a month for rent
Yeah.
in really nice houses.
Or $3,000 a month.
3,000. And they're phenomenal houses. They're going to be 6-7 bedrooms.
Something crazy, I bet. Yeah.
Yes.
Compared to that same house in the state is going to cost in the States is going to cost triple that per month,
Right.
or what have you. So that's what makes the difference. The fact that you can get a 4-bedroom for $600 a month or $550 a month, depending on where you are, or $800 a month, because you're spending so little
400 a
there.
month. 400 a month.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah,
way
man.
out like in Kanombe or what have you.
Mhm.
When those other things that are more expensive add on. And the reason why I told my husband add about 500, I'm so sorry. I still feel like there are little extra incidentals that still, because we're getting settled in still, and we just moved. There's
Right.
expensive. And the
But
children, it seemed
overall,
like
though,
now,
I mean-
Mommy, I need some more pens. Some more pens. Mommy, can you get another uniform? Because they're only given one. Who can live wearing the same uniform every day for the whole school year? They get one uniform. So can you get another uniform? Or the
But
shoes,
still,
they're
that's-
growing like weeds. It's time to get more shoes.
I
Right,
get
but
what
still-
you're saying.
That's
There-
still not,
there's-
I mean, you wouldn't add an extra
Include that. Right.
every, I'm saying, that's why I
No,
said,
I still feel like every month there are other incidentals.
right, I mean, there are always
would
incidentals,
add
but that's why I said about
Maybe it's just me.
$1,500-$1,600.
Overall.
Right.
And you know what I was thinking today? What I think we should do 1 month, and we'll too late now. We can start in March. Save all of our receipts up.
Oh
And see-
yeah.
I think we need to do that. Just kind of get a visual. You know, people who do financial literacy will tell you save all your receipts for 1 month or 1 week or whatever, and see what you're spending money on, and see how much you're spending. I think for us to accurately answer it, and he would know better because he he has the Momo account where he does a lot of the
Transactions electronically.
yeah, he's doing the big payment. He pays the rent. He's doing the electric bill, the water bill, you know, those. So he has that on tap a lot more than I do, although I know what it's costing. But
I
yeah,
like
he
that. Interesting. I've never heard the
Mhm.
man actually doing that part. I like it. And then you have
I didn't want to connect my phone to an account where I have to put money in the account to make payments from my phone. I'd rather deal with cash.
right.
And a lot of the entities here take the mobile money is a lot.
Everybody
Convenient.
takes Momo.
So
Every-
Momo is like
App.
Cash App or Zelle, similar to that.
yeah,
It's
kind of.
mobile money. And so what happens is you'll go to a business, you'll go to a store, you go a person or whatever, and you can purchase things through Momo. So what happens is you put money onto a Momo account. And so for instance, so we have a Bank of Kigali account. So we have that account. So you can as a matter of fact, you can transfer money from there. You can also transfer money from, other accounts into your Momo account.
Okay.
And then what you do is you're paying everything through Momo. And so not only are you paying everything through Momo, you can go and there are all of these different Momo agents, MTN agents. They have these yellow vests on and you can get money out just like you would go to the ATM. You go and, withdraw from your Momo account. You withdraw money. You just go to and you pay 25 cents or whatever.
So how does that work? So you go and you say, okay, I want 50 Rwandan francs. I want $50. So you go to the Momo agent. What do? You give them your Momo account number. They deduct it from your account, and then they go in their pocket and they hand you 50.
So let me see. You probably. I'm trying to show. I have two. So as you can see, send money, buy, pay bill, bank services. I can't see the other one.
Okay. Mosho. I'm not saying it right. My Momo account, pending approvals, Momo Play, My Momo Security, and Next.
So I've only used the first four.
Okay.
And so for those who are viewing on ours, so what happens is you dial in, you have a *182#, and then that brings you here. And then what you do is you type in the number. Okay, so I want to pay a bill. No, I'm sorry, I want to send money. So I put in 1. Okay. I put in 1, and then I hit reply at the top. Now, and sometimes the network is crazy, so it doesn't,
because it's on a cellular network. It's a application provided by the MTN cellular network. But even when you get gas, they either have a Momo code or a phone number that you dial for Momo, and you can put and pay for your gas.
So after I put send money, then I put 1, and then now I'm sending. Let's say I'm sending it to a Momo user. I hit 1 again, and now I enter the recipient's mobile number.
Okay.
For those who are here, enter the recipient's mobile number, and so I'm sending the money to their Momo account. Okay. And so if I'm sending it to, if I'm sending it to an individual. If I'm sending it to a business, then it's different. You're still dialing in, you dial, 182, and then *8*1*, and then you put in their 6-digit code. And, you can put in the amount that you are sending them. You put in your PIN, and that allows you to send them the money.
Oh, quite a few steps. I see why you left it to your husband. I probably would have did the same.
It sound like they're really heavy on the tech.
Yes. Okay.
To be honest, after you get used to it, it's real easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's easier for me to say how much to go in my pocket.
Exactly. Here you go. Yes, I'm with you on that.
It looks like they're heading towards the digital currency.
Yeah.
Oh man,
they are way ahead of their time. They're before PayPal.
Africa been doing this.
Has been before PayPal, before Cash App, before Zelle. Africa was doing it.
Wow.
Yeah,
now, can you also? I heard you say you all have a bank account. in Rwanda, can you also do the same with your bank accounts that's in the States as well?
So what in the States, what we do is transfer from the bank account to the States to an international app, okay, Remitly. So I transfer from Remitly, from my account to Remitly.
Your wife
Yes,
got it. Oh, she's on
Mhm.
a couple.
So I have Remitly, which is connected to the account in the States. So if I want to send money from the US account, I go to Remitly, send $200 or whatever, and it goes into my Momo account here.
Okay. Is there a charge for you doing that?
There is a charge. It's $199.
Okay.
Okay.
But it depends on, I guess, what your bank or however charge, right? Okay.
I guess they
It
do.
comes off of World Remit. And she's putting both of those in there.
What are you gonna
And I guess when you do the transfer, they do the
The
currency
currency
exchange for you.
exchange, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there like a specific like day you should do it where you get more, I don't know, more bang for your buck? You know, okay.
That would
No.
be nice.
So you're going, you're going to get more anyway because the currency is, the difference in the currency. So if I send $200 to myself from my US account, it's going to come out at like 208,000 Rwanda francs. So it's going to be basically $208.
So like for your kids' tuition, it's paid the same way through Momo, or you can pay cash?
Mm-hmm.
You just pay through Momo or through bank transfer.
Okay. They have specific.
The school, they'll let you know we have a Momo code. You can pay this way. Just send us a screenshot or WhatsApp us a screenshot of the receipt for confirmation. Or you can do direct bank to bank transfer, and their account, they'll give you their account number for their school, and you can do it that way. So let them have that option.
Okay. And this is the same for restaurants. And so all over you can use Momo.
You can use Momo everywhere.
Wow.
Everywhere.
Wow.
I lose their phone pretty
No.
much. Right?
You have to have your phone. You have to have your phone.
Okay.
But, and if everybody takes cash, so if you don't feel comfortable with that, then
You
just
can
keep
take
cash
cash.
on you. Yeah, you just have to have the
How
cash.
is the healthcare system in Rwanda if a person doesn't, like have, I don't know if they have insurance in Rwanda or not, but yeah, if a person, have a healthcare need or anything like that, like how is the healthcare system? Can you make it without having insurance? If you don't, is it affordable for you to pay
for
or
your service?
right?
I think it depends on your health.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom that we have heard says that if you have pre-existing chronic conditions that require a certain level of medical attention, Rwanda is probably not where you want to live for a long period of time, unless you will be going back and forth to the States and seeing your regular doctor once a year or what have you, certain types of cancer, things of that nature. Or you can travel. There are people we know who will go to Kenya and go to Nairobi or South Africa, where there are some specialists.
India,
Or Qatar, what's the place people be? Dubai. You may want to that. So to answer your question, it really depends on your health. If you're a fairly healthy person, we have found, and for ourselves personally, and talking to some other people, that really having health insurance is not necessary because some of the services provided are very inexpensive. I've taken our children to the doctor a couple of times just because I wanted to be sure that some upset stomach issues was not malaria or them getting a parasite from eating the fruit, because we eat a lot of fruit. And they had lab tests, complete blood tests, other lab tests, the blood stick for malaria. One of them saw the pediatrician. The pediatrician visit was like $60. And then with the labs onto it, the total by the end of it, I think was $80. One visit was $24 total. And that was the one for the malaria and a consultation. The experience was a very good experience. So specifically, we went to Deva Clinic in Nayaruttarama, Deva Clinic, DEVA, and it was very clean. They were very professional. It was well equipped. You saw a triage nurse first who asked you a few questions, took your blood pressure and your height, just like you would in the States, and then went into the waiting room and waited for the doctor. There was not an extraordinarily long wait. It wasn't a long wait at all. They opened at 8. We got there at 8. I think our doctor got there at 8:30, but she was able to do some labs before then.
And also, also another thing is because there are so many clinics.
Okay.
I mean, there are a lot of clinics here, and so I think that's another reason why you're not waiting for a long time because there's so many places that people can go.
Now, I've been told, I'm in a couple of different WhatsApp groups because I like to get good recommendations, especially for moms. So I'm in a parenting one, I'm in a vegan one, I'm in a lot of them, and because a lot of new moms have been talking about you hear me coughing. A lot of respiratory things take place here for people who are not raised here, because there are things we're breathing in the atmosphere that we weren't accustomed to. So some of them were talking about, what should I give my baby for a dry cough? They have a wet cough, blah, 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 blah. Frontier Diagnostics. So to address what my husband was saying about there being so many, there are a lot. You will see them as you go around. However, some of them are staffed with individuals who only speak Kinyarwanda or only speak French, because they see, locals and village people who only speak those languages. Most expats go in town in Gachiriro or Nayaruttarama for their or the main teaching hospital, King Faisal, for their healthcare, and even there. You know what? When I went to King Faisal also to tour the rehab department as a physiotherapist. I'm looking into trying to really get a full understanding of what rehab looks like here in Rwanda. And the emergency room was not packed. I think there were 2 people in there.
Oh, wow.
Even by the pharmacy, there weren't a lot of people. And it could be because they cannot afford private hospital care, because there are some public hospitals. So that's why I wanted to make sure I addressed what my husband was saying, because some of the clinics are public and some of them are private. And the private ones do have less of a wait.
Okay.
And the doctors tend to be specialists that were educated abroad or what have you. So, because I know the driver told me the other day, I went to the dentist. He said, your teeth look fine. You're going to the dentist. I said, I've been going to the dentist every 6 months since I was a little girl, because dental health is very important to Americans as well, and which is ingrained in our heads. You need to get your mouth checked because their periodontal diseases and what have you could affect your heart. I don't think I went into all that detail with him, but I told him, he was like, why are you going to the dentist? You just brush, your teeth are fine. Every 6 months, make sure I don't have any cavities or any. And he said that's unheard of. He said you will come across a lot of Rwandans who have never been to the dentist before. It's expensive, and they're just, it's not that
we are.
That's pushed that much. So they, affordability is a factor for the average Rwandan on an average Rwandan salary, and healthcare. No, they move around a lot. They stay active. They eat they need non-genetically modified food or organic. So they, don't really have to go to the doctor a whole lot.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when you said hospitals, but there's a public and a private. So it's like public free healthcare and private at a cost, or how?
I think some services are free and others are at very, very low cost. Like we have a friend that we have made here who is an ophthalmologist, and he said their health insurance is the equivalent of $3 a month. Did he say?
No,
and it covers basic stuff that
it's
we
like
would pay more
$5 for the year.
The whole year. And what the basic coverage is stuff that we would pay extra for. Wow. So there, when they go to the hospital, there's some services, the public hospital, there's some services that they get provided as citizens, and some of them they have to pay for or that are covered by their insurance plan. And there are several insurance companies here. One of them that I've heard a lot about is Regency, but they do have them. They do have health insurance providers here. Mhm.
So, like for example, hopefully this does not happen, but if someone, I don't know, broke their arm or something like that, would the hospital be able to do surgery?
Here,
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Only because we haven't gone to that.
Would you recommend someone who has bad allergies to move to Rwanda? Because I know that you all been dealing with those allergies. I'm concerned because my allergies are bad.
Now, I don't. I mean, I don't know if I would say not. And I guess I would ask the question because people have allergies. Different people have allergies, but it also depends on, I think, what your
Allergies are
allergies are. You know what I'm saying?
like
Um,
certain smells, things like that.
It's certain climates. It just ain't good for.
Right, because you may come here, you may have bad allergies in the States, but you can come here and you'll be fine.
Gotcha.
Whereas, my allergies are not. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work.
Let me just see.
Whereas my allergies are, not that bad.
Are they not?
No, I mean in the States, my allergies were not that bad. But then,
Go ahead.
Oh.
I got this.
we might need to, move this over here.
We're bad TV people.
You move something. I don't know.
Yeah, because we're talking to you, and we're streaming on the phone at the same time.
Okay, gotcha.
And the battery's about to die.
Okay, so we're
Oh,
good now.
which one?
So,
The
yeah.
one we're on or the other one?
No, the
You're
other
good.
one.
You're on the
You
call.
guys are good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But I remember now in one of your videos, your wife was mentioning about the allergy medicine. Can you give us the people advice if you do have allergies, what they need to bring that Rwanda may not offer?
Oh, my advice was just definitely bring whatever you use now for allergies.
Right.
I happened to find some that I didn't know I had that I was using in the States, and it was Flonase, a nasal spray. And when it occurred to me, okay, this is allergies. This isn't just a cold coming on that I can't get rid of. And I tried it and it helped my symptoms. I said, oh, yeah, so clearly it must be allergies. But it was whatever you use at home that is effective for you, make sure you bring it. If it's prescription, definitely get the prescription filled, get a couple of them and bring it with you. And as I said on that video, even if you do not have severe allergies or allergic reactions right now seasonally, because I didn't in the States. And I grew up, and I think I said in that video, I grew up in Atlanta, which is very heavily pollinated.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably why I didn't have a lot of issues, because I just grew up, my body was used to developing those histamines to deal with it. But because there are several rainy seasons here, things are blooming and blossoming and growing that I'm not accustomed to, different weeds and trees and foliage or what have you. And there are a lot of motos. So some people, I met someone who said she's allergic to smoke, like from fire, and they use outdoor kitchens here. A lot of the homes are built with outdoor kitchens, and they just use charcoal to cook in a pot. And you can see them out on the street sometimes cooking, roasting corn or what have you. And if smoke triggers your allergies, that's going to be an issue. Motorcycles, lots and lots of motorcycles. So the exhaust, that could be an issue for you respiratory wise, that you may not have even known was a problem. So right. I just bring some kind of allergy medication with you. And if you already have allergies and you have that medication, make sure that it comes with you for sure.
Is it because they don't sell specific like allergy medicine or what?
I see the reason for your
it may not be what you're used to.
Right.
That's
or
the
strength.
The brand.
Now,
yeah.
We have an acquaintance that we've met through the expat group who said he shared a number of a couple that owns a pharmacy, and they were able to actually get him for real, Benadryl. A lot of the medications come from Europe,
Okay.
I'm told, and they are a version of, it's just like Walmart equate
Generic.
brand. Yeah. Uh-huh.
The
So they
active
may not,
ingredient is the same.
that's what they say. I'm using what I'm used to. I brought Tylenol for the children's Claritin.
Right.
I just brought what I know would work because I didn't want to risk it. But we have tried some like Benylin, Benylin instead of Benadryl.
Okay.
I know that helped so much. And then there's another cough syrup, a couple cough syrups that we didn't feel were extremely effective for us. But using a diffuser and putting essential oils in it like peppermint and eucalyptus, that was helpful. Doing steam, inhaling steam, that was helpful. So some alternative things are helpful. But so to answer your question, do we suggest to bring your own because they don't have them? That's not true. They do have some. They have, but I just say go with what you know already.
Gotcha.
Works for you effectively. And if you don't have it or you can't bring it, there are some options here. Yes, there are. You just have to keep trying a couple different ones to see what works best for you.
Sounds good to me. Thank you for explaining that. Mr. Hillary, hello. Welcome, my brother. Wow, good day. Powerful sister and husband. And much greetings to the guests in the interview. I came in late, missed a lot, but would watch the playback. Much love and respect to you all. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Yes, you definitely have to replay. Thank you. Okay, we're getting close, guys. I know I had a lot of questions. I'm so sorry. What do you see a need for in Rwanda as far as starting up a business?
To be honest, we don't know yet.
Okay.
Got a couple.
Go ahead.
I think they could benefit from a training school, so to speak, that will kind of infuse some customer service aspects and what was it? Staffing, like a staffing agency. We see all the time, I'm looking for a housekeeper, I'm looking for a chef. Did anybody recommend a nanny? And there are people looking for a certain quality of care and certain quality of service provided. They don't have a staffing agency here. And I think it would be a good idea to kind of link one with a training program where you train for various industries and certain levels of service and industry. And then once the individual graduates the program or what have you, they go into your staffing pool and people are able to contact the staffing agency and hire staff for that particular purpose. People look for tutors because a lot of the schools speak French and Rwanda. People who, so I think that would be good, or just a separate customer service consultation consultants to go, the hospitality consultation, business and banking customer service, because there are some things that are very different in Western culture when it comes to customer service expectations that are not here. Also, I think it would be nice to have something like a Bed Bath and Beyond where you can get towels and linens and curtains and you get all your bed sheets, all your pillows, all those kinds of things in one place instead of going to lots of different little places for home
shop.
Yes, that would be nice. And then there was one other idea that I had business wise. Okay. One thing that I am in awe of, and I'm telling you, it's been 6 months, and still every time I see it, I think y'all are bosses. You all are beasts, and I'm so proud of my people when I see them pushing up heavy loaded bicycles with huge bags of bananas and potatoes or bricks and glass bottles of beer or whatever, on hand and foot, pushing up with bicycles. Or even they have these like buggies that you would see maybe like at the back of a mule with the two arms, and then there's a rectangular or a square platform or bin that's holding lots of things. and they push those by hand. And this is the land of 1,000 hills. There are a lot of hills. They're going uphill with. So one business would be to have a fleet of moving trucks, so that these individuals who are just trying to earn a living and make a buck, and will take all these delivery jobs. I'm talking under some grueling circumstances. When I tell you the weight that you see them lugging around, whole bookshelves on the back of a bike, y'all, and
I can't
pieces of
even imagine that.
They'll carry bookshelves on
on the
their
head. I've seen them tied to the back of the bike
Yeah.
sometimes.
I mean, it's
So a delivery
Rwanda
car
is there is the word can't does not exist.
Wow.
It does not exist. So we're going to make it happen.
even if it's not right.
We're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
All right.
And so, I mean, the resourcefulness is just out of this world. And so, I mean, that's why, you know, when people talk about how, you know, us as African Americans, you know, especially in the States, you know, how we're lazy and all this other stuff, whatever. It's just not, I mean, knowing that we came from here, you know what I'm saying? It's just in our genes, it's in our blood to be a hardworking, resourceful people. But
That's why they chose us to plant them cotton fields and corn in the South. That's why they chose us, because of what we see every day. These hardworking people do. We see them
raise their children too.
Oh yeah, all right, ripping them away. But I mean, I've recorded on
building
my video,
houses.
building homes. They will build. They don't have scaffolding like in the States, where you've got all this safety equipment and the steel bars and what have you that you can go up safely and down. They will build things out of sticks and wood planks and walk up these ramps that made out of wood planks with cement on their shoulders in a bucket, and just go back up and down and forth while they're building. And they'll shape and make bricks out of mud and let them sit and dry in the sun. And then they'll take those bricks, put them in some bags or in something, and hand walk them as they are building buildings, you know? So that would be another thing. Get them some safety equipment, some safety protocol, because I feel that every time I see them, no hard hats, no boots. They're in flip-flops or whatever they have, but they're working hard, earnest work.
And building these beautiful edifices.
Yeah.
Their architect work.
They're doing it well. They're doing it well.
Yeah. Very detailed. They're very detailed. I don't even see like the architect work I've seen in the houses, you know, in Rwanda. And I look at here and I'm like, this is nothing compared to Rwanda.
Nice ceiling.
Quality natural stuff, like the natural woods. The ceiling in the house that we left, all those ceilings were my favorite. The way they latticed and laid the wood.
And the cost, that's the crazy thing.
Right.
So the same house that you are paying, I mean, you may pay $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 here, is costing you $300,000 there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just made me, I mean, you're getting ripped off in the States.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there is more expensive. Here is the natural resource. They've got lots of trees,
Oh.
stone, marble. Oh, marble ain't nothing. It's on the floor. Okay, because of the resources that are available here, it's natural, and that it's funny. Those things that have to be imported to the States, the better woods that come from South America and what have you, they're going to cost more. But here in the States, you can get a cabinet from Walmart and it's that manufactured wood, really cheap and inexpensive. Most people don't want that. Here, they want that because the humidity doesn't cause a change in the wood to expand and retract. So it costs more here to get manufactured wood, which they call MDF, they call it by its acronym, than some pine. Pine is
fortune here.
And it's much cheaper here because it's a natural resource. So it's a very resourceful. And
the Most High has made us a brilliant and strong people to endure hardship as a good soldier.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, definitely resilient.
I wanted to ask Deborah, kind of made me remember this question. Is there anywhere in Rwanda that you all have seen where it's like kind of flat. What I'm looking for, like there a section where it's like flat land, not so much hilly.
There are small sections where you're flat for a while.
Oh,
But
okay.
region where it's flat.
That we've been to.
Yeah.
That we.
I've
Mostly just-
heard, but not sure, how true
Mm-hmm.
it is. For like, I'm
Mhm.
thinking like more, along the lines for like,
Elderly.
yeah, like for the elderly,
and stuff like that.
have you seen any elderly that have been able to go, walk on the hills or live, Yes, okay.
Oh, yeah. I
This-
saw one day he had his cane and he was getting it. He had to be.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
Rwanda is like the land of 1,000 hills. Other than that, though, right?
I mean, the
That's
thing
all he's
is-
done his whole life.
a lot of people here walk. And there's a lot of walking, and because they're used to it,
Uh-huh.
they have like today they
Their
have
bodies are conditioned for
Conditioned.
it. They're fit.
and they have like car-free days where
Like
it'll
today.
be like this morning they had car-free day where they cut off the road. I mean, not cut up, but they block off, barricade the roads or whatever. And so from 8 to 10, you can't drive. And so people are running, people are walking, whatever it may be. And this is on a regular basis. And so people are always getting their exercise in. And so, yeah, I mean, if you're used to being in an environment where, okay, it's hills everywhere, then you get used to walking up them.
And doing it in flip-flops, y'all.
Yeah.
So
They're in
like,
great shape.
so I was thinking more of like, from coming from the States, someone that's elderly, would you recommend, that them to
That
move to
Although they're
Rwanda?
not gonna be walking.
Right.
The hills
And-
aren't going to be an issue if that person is going to be transported by vehicle most of their time.
Right. And it also depends on where you live. I mean, because you're it depends on where you live, because it's not just, I mean, everywhere you walk out, I mean, you're walking up a hill.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of
Our road is flat.
right. There are a whole lot of flat areas. It's
Okay.
the point. It's like everywhere you go, it's called a land of 1,000 hills, because everywhere you go, there's a view. I mean, there are hills everywhere. And
Yeah.
so if you're not on the top of a hill, you may be on the side of a hill, you may be at the bottom of a hill,
Right. If
and
you're
you're
at the bottom,
looking
it's flat.
right.
Yeah.
So-
Like I lived in California for a while.
Mhm.
Like the terrain is similar.
Mhm.
Yeah, like San Francisco.
No, I was more down by like San Diego.
Okay. Mhm.
So and it's real mountainy. Then they got the flat spots, but it's once you there, you in shape. Like you said, you walking it every day.
No, I
riding a
mean
bike
for
or
more
whatnot.
like, because
Not for-
I know of a few that are kind of like, well, I don't think Rwanda would be best for me because it's hilly. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm
But
saying, coming from the
it might
States.
be like more of a thing you got to see for yourself, because people get that opinion.
So that's why I have the beautiful family here, so they can just kind of give us a little idea from what they have seen since they're there.
That's two young bucks there. Though.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, just to kind of give other people that may be on the fence about moving to
Mhm.
Rwanda because of the hills and because they may not be able to walk as much. You know what I mean? Or I don't know, maybe claustrophobic to the hills or whatever the case may be. So that's why I just want to kind of talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, Red, wow.
Okay.
Oh, Red, Red, say hey, y'all.
Hey,
You're welcome.
how you doing?
He's working on his exit to South Africa. So we
Yeah.
did a lot of-
Yeah, he's made a couple of trips.
Yep, he's made a couple of trips. So definitely later on, you all can see the video. We did a live with him.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, next question. Is it easy for a foreigner? Do you know if it's easy for a foreigner to start a business? I know that you all are not, but have you heard that it's an easy process?
We've heard that
It
it's
is.
an easy process.
Yeah, it's very easy. Everything we've heard, you can get a business permit. You can start a business in a day here. Not start a business, but get the permit in a day. A day.
So you know how we were saying Irimbo deals with all the federal type, the government documents and things of that nature. You go on arimbo.gov, apply for a business permit or what have you. Once you get that permit, you're good. All you need to do is rent your space, or establish where you're going to have that business. Some people do it out of their homes.
Oh, okay.
But will rent a house and use that as their office space or what have you. I know somebody who did that with an apartment. But the first hurdle is getting the business permit, which you do through Arimbo. And they said that doesn't take. I know somebody on the WhatsApp group said it took them 4 days to get the permit.
Okay.
Upload documents, have what you need. And once you get the permit, it's on you to get everything else established. And then renting, just like we said, real estate is cheap here compared to the States. It's very inexpensive. And there are lots of malls with they build these huge malls with office spaces and retail spaces. There's so many that are empty. Like we're like, we need to come with a business because we can have our pick of wherever we wanted to put it. There's so many available retail spaces here. So yeah,
And it's
pretty
cheap to rent retail spaces.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. Yeah.
Your cost is going to depend on location, with real estate.
Yeah.
Location, like your location. If you're near the airport, well, there aren't a lot of big malls there, but mostly if you're near the arena, BK Arena, or if you're close to the convention center, and there's some malls there, then you're looking a little higher in the cost bracket.
Deborah says, I'm originally from Seattle, Washington, and we have heels like Rwanda, but baby, I'm more heels for this here 65-year-old. Exactly. That's why I was asking too for you, sis.
Oh, that's nice.
Hey, Red 38. Okay, just saying hello. I have a question. Oh my goodness, is it gonna come back to me? Oh, when it comes to like documentation, you know how we have here in the States when we're handling certain documentations, we have to get it notarized. Do they have anything like that in Rwanda?
Yes, you can get. There are notaries everywhere. In fact, when you purchase a car, you have to get the documents notarized. And so yes, there are notaries everywhere here.
Do you
the RD? I'm sorry, Rwanda Development Board, which is where you would go also for your business documents. They connected with Arimbo. They have Arimbo agents there at the RDB, Rwanda Development Board. And I went there to have my documents notarized because it specified that you needed to have I think it was an RDB approved agent. So I just went straight there. There are Arimbo spots all over the city, hundreds of them. I feel like there are lots and lots, and some of them have designated RDB agents who work for the, who are notaries.
Okay.
But I just went to the RDB. It was easy. I went to the notary's office, in and out. I was the only one that day. Twice I went actually, and she was very helpful. So
okay. I'm just curious to know if the notary, like if say for example, if you're a notary here, if you're able to use your notary skills here as opposed to Rwanda, if it'd be different.
I would think you could use your skills because this is pretty much the same. The process for me, I don't know about my husband, I'll let him talk about with the vehicle, was verifying the authenticity of documents. So I had to apply for equivalency of my degree in order to get a license to practice as a physical therapist. Okay. And the equivalency means basically, is your education, your master's degree education, equal to or better than ours?
Okay.
Right? And I had copies of my transcripts and my diplomas.
Okay.
So I took them to get them notarized so that I could apply for my license. And she said, "Oh, ma'am, do you have the originals?" I said, like the original, like the degree that I got when I walked across the street, like the one that I would put in the frame. I had the original. "Ma'am, I'm from the United States. I just brought, this is the," she said, "Oh no, I need to verify the authenticity of the original before I can notarize the copy."
Wow.
So I had to have my family DHL me, mind to go in and pull them out of frames out of the basement and stuff like that, and send them to me because she wanted to look at see. She touched the seal and everything.
Oh wow. Okay. So I
Still
would
technically,
go ahead.
you probably the same. You would need a license to be a notary here, or whatever their qualification to be a Rwandan notary. You probably have to go through something for that.
Okay. So bring what you have here to them, and then they'll guide you to what you may need in Rwanda. And that is the same. That's the same place you told me, right? Where is it?
Remember?
Yes, Irimbo.
Okay. All right, perfect. This is some good information. Thank y'all so much. I think we have 2 more. We're about to make it, y'all. If you do buy here,
Right.
do you own it? Right. Or okay. So say for example, if you all decide on that, you know what, Rwanda is for us. We're staying. We're gonna buy a home. If you decide you're gonna buy a home, will you own it outright or for a certain amount of years? Do you know that question or not quite yet?
As far as we know, you own it.
Yeah, for as far as
It's
we know,
yours.
you own it outright. It's not like
99 years or whatnot.
like in Ghana, you own it for I think like 50 years, something like that, and then
You have to reapply for
Right.
apply
ownership.
or it goes back to the
Whoever is in line will alive by then or however, yeah.
If you
yeah.
buy it, you pay
Yes.
for it. It belongs to you. They give you the deed or the title, and it goes back to somebody after 50 years.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah,
Police. Yeah, that's how it is on our place that we brought in
99
Zanzibar.
years.
It's 99 years.
But
yeah.
like you were saying, you can renew the lease.
Whoever
So if
comes
you wanna
behind
hand
you,
it down
however.
to your family
Yeah.
member.
Mhm.
Process is not nothing complicated to it.
Mhm.
okay. So you can't leave it in a trust or as in your will. Well, you could up to that term to the 99 years, but it wouldn't just automatically become your child's at
Right.
the end of 99 years. It belongs to, I guess, the government again or what have you, and then someone
I'm
you
not
could
sure
either
if it goes to the government, but you would have to basically document whoever you want your heirs to be.
Well, we don't know who's
So-
gonna be. We're gonna be living that long, so we don't know who's gonna be. You know what I mean? So that's kind of on them then. Whoever down the
Yes.
road.
You have to keep the
I
paper.
think when you purchase land or a home here, real estate, it's yours to do with what you want forever. I believe. If anybody else knows differently, you can put it in our chat
The
and let us
land
know.
nationalized.
And gone.
I haven't heard any.
Goes back to the government.
I
don't know.
guess I don't know. Can you could you explain that more?
Lisi.
The land is nationalized in Ghana. That's what it's saying on our interviewer's side.
Okay, this is the last one. We made it. Is there any advice you all would like to share with us about moving to Rwanda that we should know? This is my last question.
So, couple things. First thing is come visit first. Make sure that is number one. That is important. Make sure you come and visit. Also understand that when you move, you're not moving to America. You're moving to an entirely different culture. And so because of that, things are not going to be the way that you're used to. They're not going to be, and it's going to be, it can be very frustrating at times. But you have to ask yourself, am I willing to deal with the frustrations here? Or am I willing to deal with the frustrations where I'm coming from? It's not going to be easy, but I think if you have the financial means and the support, and this is where you want to be, then you'll make it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think the trade-off is well worth it. You know?
Mhm.
Man,
Yeah.
just- yeah, we were talking. Well, we was looking at one video where they were talking about where they came from the states, and they were basically talking about the police situation.
Right.
Mhm.
My aunt and
And
Donna, their
as far
family.
as like the encounters in the states and what you encounter with the police in African countries, and it's like night and day.
Oh yeah.
Like your chances of getting murdered or beat to death by a cop over there in Africa is like very little compared to here.
Yeah, it's
You might
not-
get asked for some money, but you,
Right.
Right.
you know,
We talked about that part too.
Right.
Yeah, they will extort you.
yeah.
Yeah. It depends
Depends
on where.
you are.
Where? Because
Now, they
it
not
won't.
playing
That,
that.
that doesn't happen here.
They're not
Right.
playing that.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Because they don't play. Yeah, they don't play that.
No, this is an anti-corruption administration.
Yeah. The corrupt.
It's
They,
not
I
tolerated
mean,
at all.
no. It's serious. If if you start trying to bribe people and things like that, you get into some serious trouble.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you're right. You don't have to fear for your life here on the continent when you're encountering the police officers. But you might need to have a little cash on you.
Hey,
Right.
I'd rather give up a little
Yeah,
cash
yeah,
than not sure if I'm gonna walk away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yeah, I played that game. I don't know if I ever told you. I went to Mexico, and one time I had to. They basically
yeah, you
extorted
did
me
tell.
for some cash. It's
Oh.
like, yeah, basically, you can pay us $100 right now. We can take you to jail. I gave him $100. I was like, I do not want to go to a Mexican jail.
Oh.
I want to go to nobody's jail.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm Mexican, so.
Yeah.
But definitely not a Mexican.
No, I don't know what they feeding you in there. What it might be fish head soup. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you don't want no parts of that. Here, you want to read this one, honey?
Oh, he said, I think it's the same like Tanzania, where some of the land belongs to the government, and you can be given for free to build, but you lease it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, you lease land. Okay, that's
99 years.
And I still say you can't say that here. You never own it.
No, because of taxes.
Right.
Eminent
property.
domain.
This is eminent domain. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Oh yeah, that too. Eminent domain. They will
Yeah.
take it from you.
any questions anyone have before we let this beautiful family go? I've had them for a good while. I appreciate you all coming on, doing a part 2 with us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Greatly appreciate it. We really enjoyed you. Hold on, we do have another. Let's see. Deborah Green says, I'm allergic to anybody sharing. Exactly. Listen, I was supposed to I went on a job interview. This was kind of a couple of years ago. And the training that we had, oh my goodness, he was a real deal. He went to talking to us. Okay, listen, we're going to take you all inside the jail cells. I said, what? I'm going to take you to he took us to the bad side that they don't care. And I was like, oh my God, I was ready to go then. And then he went to saying, he got staph infection when he first started the job. I said, oh Lord, at the time I didn't have any kids. I was like,
out of applying?
yeah, I was like, Lord, I'm trying to have children, and he already talking about I'm gonna catch So he took us in there because I was gonna I don't know what you call it, where you open and close the jail cell doors. And we went in there, and the one girl I went to school with, the guys hollering her name, and they just acting a fool in there. And I said, oh my God, I can't wait to get out of here. And he went to say, oh yeah, this floor, they don't care. They have this and that and disease and this floor. And I was just like, I already was ready to go. It didn't matter if they hired me or not. So
right.
I was so scared, and we had the interview, and I think then they had it was 4 of them asking different questions, and they was like, oh, would you pass the letter to so-and-so? I said, yeah. I was so nervous. I know that was the wrong answer. And I guess they said, oh, we're not hiring her. And I was so happy. I was so glad to leave. It didn't bother me one bit because I was like, I can't do this. No. And then you didn't get a stick. You didn't get no mace. I said, they'll never get me in the elevator. I was done. I was done.
A taser?
Yeah. Nothing. I said, no. They talking about they teach you technique. I said, no, I'm good.
Let me teach you some kung fu.
No. I was so happy. I was actually happy they didn't hire me. It was just perfect. They hired the one who they called in the jail cell, my classmate. They hired her. I said, well, God bless her soul because it's not for me. I just hate to tell y'all that. So I guess the people are quiet. They are done. So we're gonna let you all go. I'm just gonna do some little announcements and then we're out, right?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
It's a pleasure seeing and
Yes.
talking to y'all. I hope we can see each other in
Yes,
person one
in
day.
person.
In
Yes.
Rwanda.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
That would
You
be,
need to come to Rwanda, don't you?
oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
do
do.
wanna
We
go.
actually we want to go all over
Yeah,
Africa.
we kinda
Most time will.
yeah, we
Make
scattered, but
No.
like, once we get there, we plan on visiting.
Yeah.
Like,
But having a actual like spot to say, okay, this is
Yeah.
home.
Home base.
Right.
It'd be good, like just like you know us, we know you. If you come to Zanzibar, we there. Y'all
Right.
welcome.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
We have somebody we know in these different places.
Exactly. Yes.
That's
The fellowship and I guess the kids will be with us, and they
Yeah.
can fellowship with each other. So yeah.
Who knows? We might run into you down in South Africa or something. I know you said
yeah.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Definitely look at our videos because we've had at least 3 people on there that we've done interviews. So I think it'll be like beneficial to information.
For what,
and
South
everything.
Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my African name. So
Yeah.
African following. So I want to say this as far as my advice, just really quickly, and you all are talking about visiting
yes,
around the
please. I'm sorry. Yes, so sorry, y'all. We want to hear her advice too. Yes, thank you.
It's fine. My husband covered a lot of the things that I would say, but you know me as myself, I've got my different perspective, especially because he was the one compelled to come, and so I've experienced it a little bit differently. But I just want to say we were talking to someone who was telling us how expensive it is to travel intercontinentally here, much more than we expected, because that was one of our big ideal things to do with our family and exposing them to cultures across the continent. And she said it's less expensive to travel to Dubai or to Europe than it is to go to Ethiopia or Morocco or Ghana, because they do not have low-cost carriers. Like you don't have a Southwest or Frontier, some of the LCCs that you have in the States. So it costs a whole lot more to get around. So just be prepared for that.
Yeah.
And that note, save as much as you can, because the more you come with, the more comfortable the transition is. And if you want to bring more, you can afford to bring more, like the shipping container, things of that nature, which are going to save you time in having to search to replenish, because that's kind of been part of my difficulty, is refurbishing, replenishing, restocking and getting things that help our household to run. Or just basic stuff. You need a mirror so you can see, right? So if you can bring things with you, take your time to really save and put aside some money, because I really think the more you can amass and bring financially so that you can get set up more smoothly, it will be very helpful. But now that's for those who need to bring stuff. Of course, there are people who just want to wash their hands of everything, get US out of their system, all kind of ways, and just come, and you're good with kind of like a nomadic life, or starting with a very simple lifestyle, a minimalist lifestyle. I'm not speaking to those. You know what you need.
Right.
And so squelch that, plan for it so that you can do it the way that will be a little bit more comfortable for you. I will definitely say there are some things that I wish I had brought with us, so that the children will be more comfortable, or that we would already have and we wouldn't have to search for them. So that, and educate yourself about the culture. There are some books out there that are really good. There is one really good one. Babe, can you find the name of that?
I don't remember
by
the name.
Justin. There's a gentleman who works with people transitioning and locating to Rwanda. Specifically, he works with people for that goal and to help acclimate them to the culture and the nuances of life in Rwanda and Rwandese people. And he wrote a book that I've got to get my hands on, because so many people have said it's been helpful in helping them to understand how to communicate with Rwandese, how to be understanding. And so I would say educate yourself on the culture so that things won't be quite as shocking And there will be such a huge, steep learning curve and cultural shock, even though there's going to be some. That would be my advice.
So thinking as far as like languages, will you translate? How do you use an app or is that an
We use translate quite a bit. There are a lot of people that speak English, but we end up having to use Google Translate sometimes. Just to make sure you fully understand what it is we're needing or trying to convey.
Oh, okay.
GP said, I noticed that Rwanda Air has lower prices than a lot of African airlines. Okay, thank you. Yeah, because we talked about that, like the prices, because I've tried to look at the prices from hopping from one, African country to another, and it's expensive. So I'm wondering if it's more expensive being here in the States as opposed to being in Africa. I don't know. I guess I'll have to see when we get there.
Yeah, it depends on what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought the major expense would be getting there. Then once you get there, maybe be a little cheaper to move around. But
no, what I'm saying, what we found out, they're saying it's not as cheap as you think it is to move around. Because we've looked at some tickets to maybe go to Kenya, I think. Or
you're talking about to travel in Africa. You're talking about $400 a pop at least, depending on where you're going. Which is expensive.
It is for the family.
If you're going close, like to Tanzania, even.
Oh, really? Even close, neighboring? Oh, wow.
Tanzania are right there. It's literally, if you look at the map, it looks like Rwanda is sitting in the top corner of Tanzania. Yeah, you're right there. They share a border, but to fly there, because I looked, I was thinking about us taking an anniversary trip. It was over $400 round trip per person.
Yeah, I've noticed. I've been looking. They're starting to do a lot of rail work too.
Yeah, I wonder if it's.
So I don't know how costly that'll be if you did that. I mean, within that region, like Tanzania, Rwanda, that's gonna connect all the different countries.
That would take some time, and I would not want to be the first
on the train.
Yeah, they're talking about like high-speed rail too.
So. That'll be good though, if it's gonna be more reasonable.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I would love to do a train ride. You see more.
Yeah.
Can you?
They just stop.
There's a lion. Oh my goodness, there's an elephant.
So just sometimes the trains just take too many stops, though. That's the only.
Yeah. But you say it's gonna be fast, so maybe
certain stretches they probably get out in the open areas. They probably go full speed. So.
Well, we gotta let them go.
Yeah.
Well, we'll let you all go. We don't want to talk up their ears, honey. Family in the audience, just stay. We're gonna let the family go here so they can tend to their children. They've been so well behaved. Tell them that.
Okay.
We appreciate
dinner.
You
the
guys.
girls cooked.
Awesome.
Yeah. We appreciate you guys so much for the opportunity.
Thank you.
And like we said, we want to return the favor.
Okay.
So we will. I will reach out to you. We'll reach out to you. To try to schedule a time, see when you guys are available, so we can get your story.
Oh yeah.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. It'll be our second time, right?
Okay. Yeah.
For the first time I did with another, it was just me. But hubby has now been the add-on.
Yeah.
Everybody they like him on. So
I'm gonna give her a little bit of that compassion. She said I was lacking since I'm here. So
thank you.
All right.
Do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
She can't hold that against me. At least we got that moment.
Yes.
Right?
And it's everybody just saw it.
Yeah, there you go.
Now you got a couple of bonus points on that one, right?
Exactly. Both
night to day for you all. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank
All right,
you.
you too.
Bye.
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 All right, family. I hope you all have enjoyed this live. Let's see. Deborah, both China and Japan has the high-speed bullet train. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Look, she said, "Oh, that's so sweet." Thank you, sis. Yeah, I didn't expect that one. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it, right, Heavy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Every time.
Yes, and my ride or dies, you already know who you are. You always show up. Greatly appreciate it. This would not happen without you all. That's for sure. So keep it going, guys. Share, please share with others. I am trying to get to 800 subscribers, guys. And each time I make the goal, I'm trying to just keep climbing. And again, I cannot do this without you all. It's greatly appreciated. Hold on, I missed someone. George, welcome. So sorry. I just happened to see your name pop up. Thoroughly enjoyed. Nice live. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope that you all have your notifications on. Remember, when you go to the bell, you click on the bell and it'll say personalized. It'll say all. You want to make sure you have that check on all. I didn't know this until my husband brought it to my attention. And I was like, why am I not getting some of these videos? And that is why. Also, once you do that, you should be able to see our next live, guys. Our next live, we going to Mexico. We're going to Mexico in Merida. So definitely do not miss that live with our brother. Look, listen, not everyone is on the journey for Africa. So I wanted to bring in some, different people, our people that are kind of spread out everywhere. I feel like wherever you can find that peace and serenity at, hey, I say do it. Okay. So, and I don't want to be judgmental, when it comes to that.
I just prefer Africa.
Right. But I'm
my
just
choice. She know that too.
Yes. Me, I want to travel everywhere, all over Africa, outside of Africa. I won't say everywhere, but some places. I've always wanted to do that. Want to learn the different cultures, and mingle also with my people too. So definitely make sure that you are in the building. I will send you reminders like I always do. It'll be next Sunday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will have to check in your time what time that actually will be. Also, before we go, do not forget to support me, guys. Get your copy of my book, The Husbands I Thought I Found. And yes, guys, this is me. I was a little more chunky then. I had dreads. As you can see on the back, it'll give you, some details about my book. It is a short read, guys. It's not going to take all day. Kind of like how I be talking right now. I will leave the link in the description box. Also, support our brother. He has a book out. I have all of his details and information also in the description box. Listen, guys, let's support each other. No one else is going to do it, so we got to do it ourselves. Also, guys, we have a store called Rod Rocka Styles. This is one of the shirts that I made, guys. You can find this shirt, some other colors. If this is, what you're interested in, you'll find other things that I've created on there. And if there's something that is not on there that you want to custom make, you can email me your details and we can try to make it happen, Captain. Okay. I think that is it, right?
That's it.
Yeah. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday and we'll see you all on the next video. Peace. You want to say something? Bye.